So has anybody seen Barbie or Oppenheimer yet?
I'm seeing Oppenheimer tomorrow night. I can't wait.
I saw Oppenheimer late night
So
Saturday.
Nice.
I have so many questions about this whole like marketing campaign. These two movies have nothing to do with each other.
Nothing.
Zero.
Other
But
than they're like, I mean, their directors are the draw, right? The story's not the draw. Like Barbie's not really the draw. J. Robert Oppenheimer's not really the draw. It's a Nolan movie or it's a Greta Gerwig movie. You know, that's what people are. Well, I guess you could say the stars too, like Gosling and Margot Robbie on the Barbie side, and Damon and Cillian Murphy on the other side, right?
But I'm saying, like, we've seen movies come out on the same weekend for the entire history of our lives.
Yeah.
Never have I seen a campaign that was so like linked together. And I'm saying, were these like the puppeteers at the top of the industry pulling these strings, or is this actually like an organic, like, double feature? Go see both movies on the same day. Do you know what I'm saying?
Go ahead.
I think it was not. I think it definitely was pre-planned. I think they were like the stars aligned here where they were done, and like months and months and months ago, these studios were like, "Fuck it, let's just do this thing," and they're having their own 50 Cent versus Kanye battle here. You know what I mean? Like, why not? Because they got to save the movie industry. They want to. It's all about hype, right? They want to get people back in theaters after COVID. I've seen Damon talk about this stuff about how like DVD sales and how that just evaporated is like a massive hit to Hollywood. And now this war on streaming is like happening where it's like, okay, we're not getting a cut of this stuff. Fine. We're going to get your asses in movie theaters. And that's why both parties of these movies, like, yeah, competition is the wrong word. They've both been trying to prop each other up. So like as many people go see the double feature that weekend as possible. I think it's brilliant.
How deep do you want to go? Okay.
So deep.
What do you mean? We're here. I see the record.
So Oppenheimer, directed by Christopher Nolan, is a Universal production. Universal is the studio that made Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer had this date first to release on whatever weekend it was.
Okay.
What studio is releasing Barbie?
Warner Brothers.
I thought it was Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Okay. Who used to direct all of Warner Brothers movies? Batman Begins, Dark Knight Returns, Interstellar. All of these were Warner Brothers movies. A couple of years ago, when COVID hit, Warner Brothers said, we're going to put all of our new releases on streaming. So you can pay for them and you can stream them, but we're not necessarily just going to release them in movie theaters. Christopher Nolan lost his shit. And he and Warner Brothers had this big argument, and Nolan ended up leaving Warner Brothers to go to Universal. So he starts making movies at Universal. He has this date to release Oppenheimer, and Warner Brothers says, you know what? We're going to change the date of Barbie.
Wow.
Love
so
that.
hold on. This actually started as beef.
Well, yeah, but now, like Tony said, now it's kind of like it may have started as beef, but now it's seen as collaboration to almost save the industry. Because, I mean, the numbers this weekend have been insane. And then the other thing is like the marketing. I think that it's like a lot of tongue in cheek because you can't think of two movies that are so diametrically opposed to their style, what they're about, you know, all of that. They're so different. So I think that people are playing into that like, oh, it's going to be two ends of the spectrum. But it was cool when I went to go see Oppenheimer, the whole parking lot was pink. And I think that like Barbie and Warner Brothers and the whole marketing machine behind that has done an incredible job. Yeah. Because a lot of times this marketing can come across as like corny and they want you to dress all in pink, but everybody's like, no, fuck that. Like, no, that's corny. What I don't understand is why this is caught on. Like, what was the hook now to make sure that everybody wore pink, are self-aware about it, and still do it, you know, without having that little bit of, shit, that's corny, man.
I think it's just fun, right? Like it's fun to go. It's fun to be like I know for me, like I've enjoyed this whole thing because like I love movies and I love going to see movies. And it hasn't really quite been the same. It's different when it's like for example, The Bear. Like we all love this thing, but it's not like an event where you're sitting down watching. Like I miss that with Succession, where it's like every Sunday night. We miss that with Game of Thrones. And for movies, we haven't had that in a long time, unless you're like a diehard Marvel fan, right? Like that's the only thing that got you in the theater. And now that's definitely fizzled away, right? But these
Top
are
Gun 2. I would say Top Gun 2.
Yeah, true.
That was
and
big.
Tom Cruise
Everybody had to go
capitalized on that. And Mission Impossible, this new Mission Impossible, I just went and saw that last week. That was great. Like, definitely a good time. But that's like, again, they're making movies to like, go see this in a theater. It's going to be more enjoyable. Like Oppenheimer, I saw that trailer a while back. I'm like, that's a theater movie. I'm not watching that on my laptop. That's a fucking movie theater movie.
Yeah, and
which
like
is exciting.
The funny thing too, you mentioning going to the theater, and I think the Barbie dressing up to go see Barbie turned into this whole thing where I feel like the internet might have started this whole like collaboration thing, or like the joke of these two movies, the double feature and all that.
Yeah.
And then someone along the way realized, oh, wait a second, let's roll.
We can capitalize.
Yeah.
We can turn this into money.
That's really cool. The other part is, so I was just reading this before we started. Barbie, so the opening weekend, right? $337 million
combined,
which is
right?
an insane. No. Oppenheimer did 174 million.
Oh, this is worldwide. Sorry, I had 80.
Worldwide.
It was like 80 and 180. I read the other day.
Yeah, but like the money that Barbie spent on marketing is just an insane amount of money. And that's the part where I feel like in this era, we don't really realize what's the machine, right? And what's actually people talking.
Yeah.
So if you spend, $150 million on marketing, that's more than a lot of movie budgets, period. But you're just putting that behind, having these special HGTV shows,
ads,
right? For like, forget about ads. Like they built like Barbie dream houses that you could rent on Airbnb that, are these massive homes in LA in like Malibu or whatever. And you can see it from like 10 miles away. Like that's just marketing because people are going to take pictures of it, share it on social media. How much did that ad cost you? Do you know what I mean? So like you have all these other things that they've done on top of having Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling out here just doing all these interviews, smiling, cheesing for the camera. And who's going to be mad at that? Except for the internet, who's also always mad at everything.
Always mad.
Because I saw a thing trending on one random, I can't even say full day, but it was Margot Robbie is mid. Did you guys see this?
Oh my God.
Yes. What are we doing here?
It was crazy. It's like, here's a picture of Margot Robbie with no makeup. She's mid. I'm like, what?
Like, I understand the internet is the internet, but what are we doing here, guys? Right? Like, that can't be a thing.
It's not right.
It's not right.
It's just so ridiculous. But so both movies, are you guys in on seeing? Like, Webby, are you taking Ivy to go see Barbie or what?
No, you know what? Like Oppenheimer, Tone said, it was like as soon as I didn't even need to see the trailer. All you had to say is, Chris. I'm not the biggest Nolan guy, but all you had to say was Christopher Nolan's coming out with a new movie, and I was like, well, I'm going to go see that in the theater. Yeah. I might not like it. I might like it. I loved Oppenheimer. I thought it was great. With Greta Gerwig, I also think she's an incredible director, and I think that I always thought this Barbie movie was gonna like subvert what we think it's gonna be, or like what you might think a Barbie movie is gonna be. So it's gonna have a cool kind of existential message to it, but it's not one that I'm like rushing out to go see, just because my wife is not the biggest let's go to the movie theater person. So I'm doing a lot of these. I see a lot of movies like late night Saturday after I put Ivy to bed, but it will be one that when it does come on streaming, or I can order at home, then Ash and I will watch it. But it's not one that, and maybe it's a mistake on my part, because from what I've seen from the movie, it does look incredible. Like, and I understand the Barbie world is like insane, and it's got a really cool visual style, but it's not one that I'm going to put down $40 or however much it costs for you to go to the movie theater to go see that one, unless I could double them up, like sneak into one and go into the other.
Yeah, which is a long day. That's like a 6 hour.
It used to be
in a theater.
Used to be my thing. Used to be my thing. Go and see one, then sneak into another.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's a long, long day. I wonder how many people actually did the double feature.
The double. There was a lot of pink in my theater at 10 o'clock on a Saturday, which meant that I think the people who went to see Barbie then came into my theater. But there was a ton of pink.
I think it was
not
quite
a lot
a bit
of people dressed up like J. Robert Oppenheimer, though.
No,
a lot of suits with the cigarette hanging out of the mouth.
Well, I was going to say, speaking of people dressed in pink, I was going to say, if I seen all of the different cameos and people that are in Barbie, but I will say, if there's no killer cam, if there's no killer cam, they really done messed up. Because if there's no killer cam in Barbie, in the pink mink, they done messed up. That's the one thing I'll say about that.
Yeah. That's the other thing about both movies is the Oppenheimer has a ton. Like, I don't even want to say the word cameo because there's just so many. No, literally.
No. I've heard like you can't really avoid hearing who's in the movie already, right? And like, it's not a spoiler. I don't think it's a spoiler to say like who's in the movie, is it? Well, look at Timmy Heggs. I can see Timmy Heggs even though he's not even in.
No.
Yes, it's a spoiler.
I didn't say it.
It's one person, and it's not. He has nothing to do with the actual story. And when it popped up, it totally. I was like, I almost wanted to say in the theater, "Is that blank?"
Yeah.
I want to see Tones. If you can spot it, you're gonna go see it tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm seeing it tomorrow night.
Okay. When you're done, if you caught it, text me or tweet me or whatever. But if you catch this cameo, it is so quick.
I'm going to think every 10 minutes, like every scene is like, is it this guy? This guy? This guy? Like, which one is it going to be? Like, will I know what you're talking about?
You should. Yeah,
I think
you should.
Okay.
Did you see the map of like the United States and like which movie was the most popular in each state?
No.
Was it like the election map?
That's exactly what it was. So like all like all the red states were like Barbie heavy, and then all like the blue states were was Oppenheimer.
I think you got that reversed, but yeah, no, wait, all the Republicans were going to go see Barbie and all.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Oh, that is kind of surprising.
There we go.
Got to check that out.
It's a changing culture.
You guys might have convinced me to go see, to like get my ass out of my house and go to the movies. I mean, it's rare. It's rare that happens.
It's coming back, man. Like just with everything happening in Hollywood and shit, and like we're hearing all the writers and what the studios are trying to do to them, and so like I guess if you can support art, like
that is a great call
to go out and spend money on it, even if it's for a big corporation like Universal or Warner Brothers, like the artist is getting some of that money, so more so than it would be if you just watched it on stream.
And like to that point, like this is why I like Chris Nolan, and like I'm with you, Webby. Like sometimes like Tenet I just didn't like, but like obviously Dark Knight's a classic and all that shit. But like I appreciate that this guy is trying to tell these stories. Like I love the Manhattan Project. I love my World War II. I think it's like such a fascinating story. I've always thought that. But him just doing all of this stuff practically with like limited to no CGI, like that takes work and effort. And I just appreciate that. Tom Cruise, hey, I'm going to fucking fly off of this ramp down onto this thing in this cliff. Like, sure, man, I'm going to give you my 1050 because that's like, 1550 inflation, right? It's like, like I'm going to give you that money because I think that's pretty cool. It's better than just like, hey, this movie was made in a giant green screen studio somewhere, and like, let's go for it.
So there's acting against a ping pong ball that's supposed to be hang or whatever,
Like, okay. Well, there's a trickle down effect, right? And that being the pinnacle of what Hollywood and filmmaking and, these blockbuster movies, that is the pinnacle. But there's a trickle down to what we're talking about or what the news is talking about in terms of the streaming wars going on in Hollywood and Tones. I know you wanted to talk about this last week and I totally blew it and forgot. But like, to me, you guys, the point you guys just made is so perfect about going to support the industry, especially right now, especially with what's happening with the strikes. As you mentioned, the writers have been on strike for, I want to say 6 weeks or maybe 7 weeks.
Oh yeah.
And SAG has been on strike as well. And this is super interesting because this is like a very pivotal turning point here. We spend a lot of time on this pod as we're trying to figure out what this pod is, talking about TV and movies and all these things that we love. And it might not be the same in a couple months. Like that is a weird, scary proposition when you think about what you just said, Tones. The fact that someone is still trying to make good movies, right? To tell good stories, to try and be creative. We cannot lose that. I don't mean to try to get up on the soapbox here, but I feel like we do need that in content creation from the top to the bottom, right? And everything can't just be, these podcasts, we stick up a mic and we just talk out of our asses for 3 hours. That can't be. No, I say that because I fear where this could be going, or what Hollywood execs, and I'm tiptoeing around what I'm saying here. Don't get fired. But like what industry wide is going on, where everyone thinks we can just cut money and still put out the same product. No, there has to be room for content creation, for creativity, for innovation, for trying things that might not work, but you still got to try. That's what content creation is. And at this moment where, you hear some of the stories coming out of the writer's strike and the SAG strike, and they're talking about like how they're going to use Chat GPT and how they want to take extras, for example.
That's the big thing. That's the big hook for.
Well, hold on. They want to take extras. Like, and there's so many different random stories that are coming out, right? But the fact that they want to do stuff where it's like, we take out extras, you come out, you shoot for 1 day, and then now they own your likeness, that they can now use Tones, who showed up for 1 day of film, and he'll be a background actor in movies forever and ever and ever, but he only got paid that 1 day pay.
Yeah, he only gets paid once.
That's crazy. So compare that to what you were just talking about, where Nolan's out here trying to like film actual movies, not sit there and make everything, CGI'd. That is just, I don't know. I fear it, and that's why I'm rambling, and I'm sorry. But what do you guys think of what's going on here?
Like, whenever I see these AI created videos, these deep fakes, the photos, even the Chat GPT stuff, you like to think that we've got such a discerning eye and ear and brain. Like right now, I can separate. Like if I see a picture online and I'm like, oh, that AI created that, right? But as what's so fucked up is that as it starts to learn and starts to do it more and more, it's going to get closer to the real thing. And I heard somebody say the other day on another podcast that I was listening to, it's like, listen, it's depressing to think about, but the war's already lost. Like it's already happened. Like the box is already open. Pandora's already out of it. And it's like, yeah, we're scratching and clawing now to like trying to put the toothpaste back in the tube, and it's done. Like AI is here, and it's going to get better, and it's going to be able to, lessen that differentiation between what it creates and what actual creativity is.
I just don't think there's ever going to be.
I like to smoke a little bit of weed and think about this.
No. Sorry, Tones. The one thing I just want to get across, so like Chat GPT, for example, right? Like people think that you type in an idea and it's coming. Like you could type in, "Hey, write a book on blank," and then it just creates this book, or write me a script, and that's not actually what's happening. And I think people are missing this. What Chat GPT does is it scours the internet for things that are already done. So it's not really creating something brand new. It's basically plagiarizing jokes or things that are written from other sources across the internet, and then trying to create that. And then you as a person can go in and, tweak and change or whatever. But basically it's like sampling. And I think that's the disconnect, where people think that Chat GPT is doing the work for you, but not really. Like you're scouring like old Andrew Webster jokes from 5 years ago to bring them in now, and then right? You know what I'm saying though?
As they are today.
Right? But I'm just saying that's a huge difference from what people actually think is going to happen. And, it's like the overall internet, not to get too deep and too into the weeds here, but it's like the overall internet. You can do a lot of good on the internet, but it's become kind of the wild, wild west, where now we have whatever, I don't know what the Pinky girl's name is or whatever, but the video I keep trying to avoid of her like yelling stuff. while she's getting paid on, is it a TikTok live? Is that what it is?
Yeah, with the hot
and you're
dogs
just like,
and stuff.
yeah, just like yelling stuff and then like getting paid money and people are paying her money to just read stuff in the comments. Like it's just absolutely insane and I'm trying to avoid it. But
it's Black Mirror, like it's the whole Black Mirror thing. It's like why watch Black Mirror when we live it every day? It's just there's something new every day that I'm like, wow, we've gone over the cliff. We're like,
but the internet is still there and we can still do like there's still good to be done with it. But it's just like, how do we use it for the good? How do we not just make it, just straight?
Oh,
I don't know what it is. I know Hags knows what it is, and he's trying to pretend like he doesn't know what I'm talking about. This
and what you're talking about, you need to see Oppenheimer because it's so in that same kind of thought process as well. You're like right onto it, right? And that's what's on a lot of people's minds, and I think that's why the movie hits so hard, like the way that it does.
Sorry, Tones, I interrupted you because I was just the ChatGPT thing is getting to me.
Tones, we won't let this episode go by without getting to what you wanted to get to last week.
What did I want to get to last week?
I know that's what Shelly said. You had something last week that you wanted to get to.
I was gonna see what you were feeling about Oppenheimer, about Barbinheimer, but here we are. It's still ongoing, right? Which is crazy because I thought by this week I might fizzle out, but here we are. It's still a thing, right?
Moneymaker. Hopefully this will be more, more creative shit.
And that's the thing is like no matter where AI goes, it's never gonna win an Oscar. You know what I mean? Like it's just not gonna replicate what these people and these directors and these great actors are doing. So, background actors, I'm all for it. Make sure you get your money. But like, it's just, we're going to be able to tell when it's fucking garbage, and we're going to shit all over it.
Well, the streaming wars, people are missing what's happening too. I saw the other day that Netflix stock is actually on the rise. And the reason for that is because the longer the strike goes on, the less content will be on the normal networks, meaning more people will be going to Netflix to watch content. That's just an insane cycle of trying to figure out what's happening, where the industry's going, what needs to be done, but we cannot lose content creation. And looking at all those false seasons of what's on normal TV or even the streaming networks, it's all reality TV, game shows, just nothingness. But
Housewives,
or at least that's what Twitter or X tells me. Have we been following this story? What's X? What is going on here?
The X Hotel, man.
We got what's the IG?
It's terrible.
Stream. What's the Twitter? Threads. I was gonna say streams for some reason.
Threads was I was on there for 10 minutes. I took a look around. I was like, nah, bro. Blue Sky's not bad, but it just doesn't seem like there's a ton going on. I guess I'll just stay on Twitter until it literally implodes.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
I mean, did you see the best thing was yesterday? Did you see that in their building in San Francisco, it says, at Twitter up the side. And so Elon was like, all right, we're going to take this sign down. We're going to put up an X. So we had the workers go out there. They start peeling off, the T, the W, the I, then the cops show up and they go, where's your permit? And they go, oh, we don't have a permit. And so they made them stop working. So as of last night on the Twitter building, it was just TER. Because they didn't think ahead enough to get the permit to do the work. I thought.
Why does this guy have to change everything?
I think it's self-sabotage.
We just have some nice things in this world. We got to pay for everything now. I got to pay for Twitter. I'm not fucking doing that. It's not happening. I love Twitter, but we had this thing. It's one of the rare social medias that's actually stood the test of time and hasn't gotten super duper lame. You know what I mean? It's still around for I've had it for 15 years. And it's not going anywhere. It's
I think we also have
this. Where am I going to go for sports updates? That's all I need. I want sports and movie updates. I just need a place for this. And this was it. So somebody else either figure it out or Elon could take a fucking hike.
Where are the jokes on Sundays? Where are the jokes on Sundays?
We still appreciate it though because of sports. Right. And sports, live sports was still one of the gathering places that you could have for Twitter. And so while everything else went down, if you go back 5 years, 7 years. Remember when like award shows were on, or remember when like more
award shows?
Bigger...
Remember those?
No, but I'm saying like it was like a gathering place.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone would be watching the award show and getting their jokes off on Twitter, and it was like a second screen experience. Well, that kind of faded because award shows suck and more people aren't on Twitter, and they've messed up the algorithm even before Elon showed up, and now it's just even more messed up. But I think it's self-sabotage, right? I think that Elon, the political stuff, which I don't want to get too far into, but I just think that he came in and his mandate essentially is, I'm going to tank this whole thing. Right? Because realize how powerful Twitter was becoming in terms of setting public narratives. And, you know, whether I still think overall it's the internet and it's Twitter and it's fake, right? Like it's not real. It's like your segment of whatever's targeted at you. But the overall world, our news is run by Twitter. Like I kept seeing that headline over and over again yesterday. And I'm thinking, who cares? Why is this on the news? Why is this on the news? Doesn't matter. Not a big deal.
Because there's more important stories that they don't want to tell you, right?
More important stories. Speaking of important stories, because I want to get the grasp of this here, because I know none of us are big soccer fans or football fans, but we are sports fans, right?
I love a little footy.
No. But I'm saying like
game.
No. But I'm saying like massive, diehard soccer fans. Or maybe you qualify yourself as it, and that's my bad, Webby. But the point...
Listen, I came up with the footy show, bro. That's how I started. They brought me in to do the highlights of the footy show with Charmin and all those guys.
This is true. I take it back. I'm sorry. My apologies. My apologies to Mr. Andrew Webster.
You're bang on with me, so if that makes you feel any better, couldn't care less.
I mean, I started with Fox Soccer News, so...
Hold on. I started at Sportsnet. Sportsnet Fox Soccer News as well.
Hey. The soccer podcast.
Listen, guys.
I voiced 4-minute soccer packs that no one saw. Those were fun.
Oh, the Serie A packs were my favorite.
So here's my question here. Messi. Wow. Messi in Miami. That's where the tongue... Messi in Miami is what I was trying to say there.
If only we had Messi in Miami to see Messi.
So do we care about this? Because here's the thing that I think, right? It was a massive, massive deal. You heard about it for over a year that it might happen. It actually did happen. And then my guy shows up, first game, LeBron's there, Kim Kardashian's there, you know, the stars are out. And he delivers with a dope goal to win.
He had a pretty crazy game. Like, even without that goal, he was like doing a little head fake shit and crossover. His first.
So are you in?
Insane.
Are you in, or hold on? Was it having it or not having it? Was that
having it? I'm having it. I'm having it for sure, bro. I'm having it.
Toads?
I'm just scrolling through X here while this conversation's happening.
Here's what I think.
No, I don't care. I don't care. I just don't care. Like, I don't know. It was cool. I watched it. I watched it because I was at work. If I wasn't at work, it's not even on my radar. Like, it's cool, man. Like, it's where everybody goes to retire. Like, I don't know. It's not my thing. I just don't care.
I prefer this way more than the guys going to Saudi Arabia. Okay, not
true. Sure.
Not for the moral shit or whatever. Just because I want to see Messi be the best player in the league and see what he can do against 10th graders, you know, which is like him playing in the MLS. I think it would be dope if every team, had like regular MLS rosters, but one superstar. And like, sure, it might be like a forward, but you might have the best defender in the league, and he's just your rock at the back. I think all these guys, when they get old, should do the MLS rather than the Saudi, because at least over like stateside, it's going to be on X, it's going to be on Twitter, it's going to be on Instagram. Inter Miami's social media following has been huge. Like the merchandise has been, the merch for the team does.
The team does, but not the players.
No. But sure, like I understand $1 billion, but I don't know. I'd just much rather play where I'm going to get seen.
Well,
did you guys see what Rain Rooney said? Sorry, Shell.
No.
I saw it. I saw it scroll through my X feed. I don't know what the fuck we're calling it now.
It's still Twitter, just like it's still Caravana. Just
yeah.
Wait, still. I was
gonna
say.
Whoa.
They changed the name of
the name of Caravana.
Yeah, it's been called like the internet. It's been called like the Caribbean Carnival or some shit like that for like a decade at least.
Really?
It's been a long time.
Oh.
Yeah. But nobody calls it.
Nobody calls it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I was gonna say something else that used to be called something that is called something new that obviously we cannot discuss on this pod, but we all know what we're talking about.
yeah, that's funny. Follow the money.
Yeah.
Follow the money.
Follow the money.
Follow the money. But in terms of Messi, though, right? I think it's really cool because people think so. Normally, right? Like Steven Gerrard comes over and he's not good, right? But he's also old AF.
Yeah,
we've seen this happen before. Pirlo came over and he's old AF. Messi's just now coming off of winning the World Cup, right? Like, it's not like I understand that he's older, but he's still pretty damn good. Like, he just came off of the pinnacle of his career, a pretty dope ass performance in the World Cup, and now he's playing. He could be playing.
You may not take him
like in 2 weeks or whatever, right? Like, I don't know what the schedule is, but I'm saying, like, isn't this a big deal?
Yeah, you may not take him number 1 overall in a draft of current players, but he'd definitely be in the top 10.
Top 10, of course, he's in the top 10.
Top 5,
of course, he might be top 2 when he's not 2. What are we talking about right now?
Well, I mean, I'm talking about today, July 25th, 2023. Okay. Do you think he's the best player in the world right now?
Isn't he about to win? He probably is going to win the Ballon d'Or, no?
Well, I don't know. I might take Mbappe.
Who's the soccer guy on this?
I'm just saying right now. How old is Lionel Messi right now?
It doesn't matter. How many goals is my guy busting this year?
Well, in the MLS.
No, in the World Cup. Did we forget about this?
That was last year.
Okay.
I'm talking about right now.
Okay.
Guys, the Broncos released new jerseys. They look, they look like Syracuse.
Okay,
they look like Syracuse.
They do look like Syracuse, or like the old Miami Hurricanes.
So let me just switch it here a little. Then here, Tones. Let me switch it here a little. Mbappe offered $766 million to go play 1 year in Saudi. Does that get your attention at all?
Yeah, take the money. Get paid. Get paid. We said it last week. Team players should get paid. If you're really great, go get the bag. Yeah, it's Saudi money. It's tough, but like whatever. I'm not going to
watch your game
too loud because I don't want any.
Well, the whole sports world is about to take all the Saudi money. So like,
correct. Whatever.
You wait till they get involved in the NFL, man.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's going to be the big one.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be big.
One. We're going to really see. I always like to say Goodell is underpaid. When that starts to happen and the Saudis we're really going to see the worth of what your commissioner is. And because again, he works for the other owners. So
running backs will see none of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Still, we'll see none of it. That's pretty good. I don't know what's going to happen with Mbappe for sure. No idea. But I do know that preseason in the NFL is coming up soon. I saw Saquon sign today. Did I see that
signed,
before
baby.
we started? Saquon signed.
He signed.
1 year, 10 mil, I think.
So, Tone,
11.
I want to ask you, when does preseason start?
Hall of Fame game is August 3rd.
9 days away.
Thursday.
Oh, so we're still.
We're training camps start like so today we're taping this on a Tuesday. Some started today, some started yesterday, a few with like new quarterbacks and shit like the Jets.
Eagles is tomorrow.
Started like a couple days ago. Yeah, so they're kind of scattered. So why doesn't the NFL, I was thinking about this as I was like taking a walk. I'm like, the NFL, this is the last event that they haven't made an event yet.
Training camp.
There should be a shotgun start, everybody go training camp situation where NFL Network, ESPN makes a whole fucking day of it. They go around the they do that with
have
like
NFL Network on today.
It just doesn't really matter. And you forgot that they actually do this on NFL Network. And they do a whole whip around of, we're at this camp.
Yes,
this camp.
they do it. But what I'm saying is,
Boys must be on the field by now.
No. What I'm saying is that everybody kind of starts. There's like groups. There's like, okay, 5 teams start on Monday, and then there's 8 more teams on Tuesday, and then there's 8 more teams on Wednesday. There should be Wednesday, July 26th. That's the fucking date. All 32 teams get going. Let's make it happen.
You would watch this?
I don't know. I mean, sure, I'd have it on. I want every team practicing.
You would watch an NFL Red Zone of the opening day of NFL training camp?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the coverage would be different because
we take it to Latrobe, Pennsylvania, where the Steelers are running laps. It's calisthenic time down in Cincinnati. We take you to Paul Brown Stadium.
Where's that video?
What I'm saying is the start of training.
I'd watch it. Don't laugh. I'd watch it. Like, fuck, Najee looks good. Najee looks good. Foot looks okay. Moving him up on my board. The start of
training camp spawns news like Saquon Barkley. Okay, so that day would just be a news blitz of just like, here's 18 contract extensions. Here's the running backs protesting. Here's all this shit going on, and now it gives us something to pay attention to in the middle of July. That's it. I've said my piece.
The worst kind of doom scrolling happens when training camp starts in the NFL, and you're like just cycling, like looking for anything of like non-contact injury, and it's like, don't be Jalen, don't be Jalen, don't be Jalen,
don't be the guy you like,
don't be AJ, don't be AJ, don't be AJ, don't be AJ, and it's just like AJ Brown. And it's just like you're following your beat reporter guys, and if you see like, oh, there's my Eagles guy, Reuben Frank, it's like, be good news, be good news, be good news. So it's just like, all I need to do is get to that first night and have my roster healthy. That's it. I just want the Eagles to be healthy throughout training camp. I don't need Lane Johnson to tear a groin. I don't need Jordan Davis to blow out a knee. I need to get my team healthy, because every day I'm scrolling looking for that bad news.
The only way I am tuning in to watch any of your proposed training camp coverage is if it was hosted by your mans, the old Browns, was he O-line coach, where he was chirping them for stretching with all the bands and stuff. And he's like, what is all this? What's all this stretching and stuff? We won 3 world wars. Can we find that video? Remember that? He's like, we won 3 world wars. Push-ups, sit-ups, and like running. That's all we did.
Big star Baker Mayfield, the center of attention there.
Yeah, that's right.
What was the quote? He's like, you think they were worried? They were running across Normandy. You think they were running across Normandy fucking worried about stretching? The NFL. That guy, that's my guy. That's my guy for sure. Okay. So what else do we got here? I'm already starting the campaign, Fade the Jets.
Yes,
we haven't done much.
I'd say like 7, 8 games, 7 or 8 wins.
Yeah, we haven't gotten into the deep dive of the NFL, because I assume we're going to be doing that all next month while training camp's going on. So I'm trying to avoid talking too much about the NFL right now when there's no actual games. But I will say this: it's still the summertime, and I have a question for you guys. We got 2 married guys on the pod. We have one guy who is not married, but is probably pretty close to. Oh no, close to
getting married.
No. Timmy Hanks isn't married yet.
Oh, Timmy Hanks, did you propose? You dog.
Yeah, like in November.
Oh, good man.
Like 8 months ago.
Maybe I did know that.
Here's where I want to take this question. I love during the summer, as sports fans, as we get to see like athlete sports wedding season, right? I always find that as just like an interesting topic, because you get to see like who's boys with who's at what wedding. You get to see the awkward dancing. I mean, and this also ties into Webby's boy, Joel Embiid, who got married over the weekend. And there's
my invite still.
Still waiting on the invite to the Michael Rubin party and to Joel Embiid's wedding. Michael Rubin also at Joel Embiid's wedding, not at Joel Embiid's wedding. Your man's James Harden and PJ Tucker, who were partying with Lil Baby instead.
Eating burgers. Whose burgers were they? They were Bun B's?
Bun B, yes.
Yeah, which is just look like legit burgers.
James Harden buying 4 burgers. He made a deal where he would make a social media post about the burgers for 4 burgers. That was a deal. That was a transaction James Harden made. But I want to talk about like athlete wedding season, because I saw, this is going to sound, Tones is laughing already because he knows that I'm going to go insane Leaf fan here. When I saw the photos of Alex Kerfoot's wedding, my thoughts were, yo, where's Willie and Austin? Like, I'm like in crazy Leaf fan mode where I'm like, yo, what's going on? Where's Austin? Where's Willie? The exact same way that when I saw Joel Embiid's wedding and I'm like, yo, James Harden's not there. That's not a good sign. Please tell me how crazy I am as I see you shaking your head already. But I like seeing that shit. And it literally doesn't mean anything. Like, it's a picture, meaning, you know, literally Austin could be taking the picture in theory. You know, like, no, but I'm just saying.
He's got
like,
a good eye. He's got a good eye for the background.
point-
He's the guy that you want taking those pics, man.
My
He's that
point is-
one guy in the group chat who's like, no, let me get your pic. You always get the nice light.
My point is, we have no
Sure.
idea what's going on, but yet there's like days of content from these athlete wedding photos. What do you guys make of all this? Or am I just like an insane person that needs to go outside?
There is not. You just said there's days of content from Alex Kerfoot's wedding. I had no idea this happened. No clue. I had no clue there was a fucking Leaf wedding of any kind. Let's circle back though. Let's let that digest for a sec. But
we got the pics here. We got the pics.
Like,
go on.
I didn't even. I'm so bad I didn't really recognize anybody in the picture other than Mitch. I didn't even know.
I'm going to ask a question. Okay. Do we think Austin Matthews is an asshole?
Yeah, 100%. That's why I
like
love
he's a bit of an asshole, right?
Yeah.
He kind of gives that vibe.
I'll say this.
Maybe it's just not well liked.
I'm tiptoeing around how I say this, but I've heard from people within not the sports industry, like people in, how do I phrase this? Hospitality, we'll say.
Okay.
That he's might not be the nicest of folk.
Which is fine. That's probably 90% of athletes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not shitting on the guy for it. Like, it's just, you know,
I'd rather him be an asshole than pretend he's not an asshole when actually being an asshole.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Valid.
I agree with that.
Valid.
All of this and no mention of my guy Brady shirtless singing Mr. Brightside at his wedding.
Oh, so now we care about weddings. Oh, so now we care about
Brady
weddings.
Kachuk, Alex Kerfoot. I don't know. It's a little different.
Couldn't pick either of them out of a lineup.
Which Kachuk is
Brady
that?
Real soon.
Which dirty Kachuk is that? I can't keep up with that.
Is that the one that's been to the playoffs or the one that's never been to the playoffs?
Soon, not yet. Soon, it's coming.
Okay.
We're
just
coming.
Is Brady a Flames fan? Is that the guy that goes to Flames games?
Flames? Yeah, he goes to Flames.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Big
Flames are washed.
Game. Big
Keep
Flames
them coming. What do you got next? You guys will
Big
know.
Flames guy.
Did you look up Timmy Stutzla yet?
No.
Who?
No, I didn't.
Unbelievable.
Timmy Schnitzel.
I don't know who that is.
You'll know. You'll know real fucking
for?
soon.
Who he played for?
Yo, I want to bring up this picture.
Enjoy your Alex. Is Alex Kerfoot even still on the team?
That's
no.
Don't you
this is the thing, right?
I was gonna say, is he even on the Leafs?
No, he's not on the Leafs.
He's not on the Leafs.
No, but it's
so
all the Leafs were
there.
Well, actually, I can't even say all the Leafs. Really, Muzzin's there, who's not really on the Leafs anymore.
LTIR, baby.
Morgan Riley. The picture was taken by Tessa Virtue. Can I bring this picture up? How do I do that?
Tess.
Tessa took the picture, but it's a shirtless Alex Kerfoot. We got Morgan Riley. We got Muzzin. We got your boy Bunting, Goodwill Bunting, and Mitch sitting on JT's lap. Like, come on. Who doesn't love that? What a wholesome, happy bunch. Just making you smile. What? Like, look at that. Look at that, Tones.
I do
Doesn't
like
that just bring a smile to your
I
face?
do think like hockey
a couple
player
of white guys, white hockey
so
guys
fun.
having fun.
Hey,
young white
okay,
men.
let's do. I want to bring Timmy in for this one too.
What was
Maybe
that,
Timmy
Tones?
can power rank this for us. I want, like, what's the sport that has the most fun weddings? Basketball, hockey, like with athlete weddings. It's like, I think hockey's number one, right?
The hockey ones do, like, so the basketball ones seem fun, but every time that there's a hockey one, it does always look like the lads are getting into it. But that's because those small town undereducated hockey players. If you've ever partied with them, they go fucking hard. Okay. And
I was going to say the reason for that is because the NBA is too much on like the gram and stuff. So too many things would get out. So people are probably a lot more like conservative, we'll say, at these parties than they would be if there were no phones, no social media or whatever. But at the hockey ones, like they still do a pretty good job of, you know, you don't really see too many of the hockey boy videos getting out of people being like sloppy drunk. Like we see what they want us to see. You know what I mean? But with that said, Joel Embiid rapping Meek Mill's Dreams and Nightmares at his wedding while FaceTiming Meek Mill.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Right?
That is a very Philly thing to happen. That is pretty sweet. Let me tell you, I was at my like one of my best friend's weddings in Philadelphia, like downtown. He had the ceremony, huge ceremony with the whole band, but late in the night of the wedding, the DJ put on Dreams and Nightmares on the dance floor. And let me tell you, Philadelphia loves that song. Anytime it's played, we're going nuts. It was pretty crazy.
So I want to ask you guys, as a couple married guys and a guy about to get married, how do you decide this? Like if you're Joel Embiid, do you invite James Harden to your wedding? Is there no invitation? Like, how do we think that all played out? Same thing with Kerfoot's wedding. Do you invite Austin and Willie? How does that play out? Do
I think
you send the invite and they're like, oh, sorry, man, can't make it. And then if you're the guy that can't make it, how's that work?
I think it's definitely different in terms of your current teammates and former teammates, right? I think the blanket invite goes out to any current teammates. You're rich enough, you can afford the plate.
Yeah.
Hey, even if you're third guy, if you're 15th man, the invitation is there. Come to my wedding. We're teammates. We're tight. We're a tight unit.
I did see your man's George Niang in the photo.
Again, Niang seems like a hang. Niang the hang, you know?
Watching Joel Embiid, this video from his wedding, I don't know, man. He seems like a corny dude. I don't know if I'd want to hang out with him.
100%.
I don't know if I want to hang out with Joel Embiid and that crew.
You know Embiid's corny because he's online all the time. It's like me. I'm tweeting all the time because I'm corny as fuck.
It's Webby's man's Embiid. No, but seriously, so you're saying current teammates,
blanket invite. I think former teammates with Kerfoot, I don't even know where he's playing now, but I think that those, like, he may not have invited Austin or Willie because maybe he wasn't the tightest with those guys personally.
I think it depends on your status, both financially and on the team. If you're like a fourth line scrub, why do you got to invite everybody? Because your wedding's not going to be some big blowout that has 500-600 people. Because remember, you're probably boys with like some guy you played junior with, right? That's got to come, right? Or like some guy you went to college with or whatever.
Yeah.
But if you're like the captain, if you're like the leader, you're like one of the core dudes, the whole team's got to get an invite, I think.
If you're Embiid, everybody on the team's getting an invite.
Everybody, especially in the NBA. It's fucking 13-man team. Yeah, it's like, who cares? Like,
then it's do you invite the video guy? Do you invite the assistant trainer?
I mean, unless you want to, but I don't think you're obligated, right?
So then the flip side is you're on the team. Do you have to go to the teammate's wedding?
No.
If
you're busy, you're busy.
Yeah.
Hold on, but what defines busy? Like a little baby concert? Like
eating?
I can't come to your wedding, Joel. I gotta go to a little baby concert. Like what?
That's fair. I forgot that we were talking about like pro famous and rich athletes here for a second. I was like relating it to me, like, fuck, I don't know, what if I have a vacation planned or something? I'm like, yeah, a little baby, you could probably go to a little baby. Like, James Harden go to a little baby concert at any point.
It's like, no, we saw where James Harden was
that night, right? Yeah, exactly.
That's so good. That's amazing. That's all I got. What else do we got here? The last thing I had written down. Oh, two things. TV, just to wrap this up. Winning Time season 2 starts in like a couple weeks.
Let's go.
I was out on Winning Time as soon as they fucked the history.
Hold on.
As soon as like they were like, oh yeah, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar won the NBA Finals MVP, and he didn't actually win the NBA Finals MVP for that season, I was like, I'm out. If you're just going to completely make up facts in this show, I'm out.
I mean, it's not a doc. It's not a reenactment.
Yeah,
no, but I mean, it's something as simple as like that was my whole thing. It's like
is that what actually happened in the show? I don't even remember.
Yeah, it
I don't
happened a
remember that
couple
either.
of times.
I know that there were things that were fudge and there were things that were obviously embellished, like the scenes that, because you're creating a show, right? Like they have no idea what went down with Magic and Cookie
No, but I'm not talking
at the
about
very
that. I'm talking
beginning,
about
and like Cookie's
actual
friend
facts.
that was sleeping with Magic. Like that's obviously something they just made up
Right.
for, not made up, but like embellished and like created into this show storyline. So I don't feel like anyone watching thinks that they're watching the actual story of the Lakers.
Yeah, but I'm talking about actual facts of like this guy did not win the NBA Finals MVP for this.
I don't remember that part of the show of season 1, so I can't confirm nor deny this beef that you have. I am more shocked at the fact that the Andrew Webster that I know would be down or would be against a show of John C. Reilly doing like such an epic job of playing Jerry Buss, who is just such an insane character to begin with, but he actually like comes off the screen and feels like he's in your living room with you while you're watching this incredible show that is just hilarious, ridiculous, all of the above, and it's about basketball. And Webster's like, nah, I don't know. What? I'm stunned at this. Tones?
I'm a little stunned at this too. I think he's just being contrarian. I think this is contrarian Webby here.
No. Listen, I think the performances were great. I thought the style of the show was great. But when you tell me that, Jerry West was fired in this season when he wasn't, and he left the team in this season, then like the actual story of Magic Johnson and the Showtime Lakers is so much more interesting than what you're kind of fudging to make into a series.
This is like me watching that Sean Payton movie, which I still haven't watched, and being like, that's factually incorrect. It's a fucking show. It's a movie. It's meant for entertainment. Like, it's not like, they didn't get Bounty Gate perfect. Like, who cares? Like, that's not the idea. You know the story. They're trying to tell you a different, maybe some partially fabricated version of the story that might be actually more entertaining.
I think I got it here. I think Webby's a huge Jerry West guy. And Jerry West, wasn't he trying to like sue?
Done dirty.
Yeah.
Done dirty.
Wasn't he so mad at his depiction?
I think that's the guy too. I think he's in Oppenheimer. That guy.
Yes, he is. Yeah, I like that actor. I always forget his name. Every time I see him, I'm like, fuck, I like him.
Listen, it's a good show. To be honest, is that I watched like the first 3 episodes, and then for some reason I just kind of fell off.
Hold on, you didn't even watch the whole thing?
No, I didn't.
What are we?
Dude,
can you watch the whole thing and then we'll watch season 2 and talk about it? Like,
okay,
as it happens.
Pick up where I left off.
It's in the HBO time slot. We always talk about that. We always need that. We always.
When does it come back? And season 2 is about Bird too, right? Like it's more about Bird.
A lot more about Bird.
It's about the rivalry, Bird and Magic. Yeah. And like
that's one of the best documentaries too. It's like that documentary is sick.
Yeah, but you're gonna get. You've already just told us you're gonna get mad if they don't get every detail correct.
Well, it's more that I just dropped. I needed an excuse about why I stopped watching.
Told you.
Contrarian.
I needed a reason.
Oh, Steph Curry's so much fun. No, he's not. He's corny. Fuck him.
Corny,
right,
motherfucker.
Sure.
You want to talk about a movie that nobody's gonna watch is his fucking documentary. Fuck that guy. Fuck Steph Curry.
Just for that, I'm gonna watch it the minute it comes out.
Go for it. You won't even
Where
make
is
it
it?
10
I don't
minutes
even
in.
know
It's
where it
supposed
is.
to be terrible.
It's supposed to be terrible.
So according to who? Like
X.
I literally I saw I think it was a tweet that says like Steph Curry documentary terrible.
Are they actually going to call it Zeets?
Underrated.
Did I see that?
What?
Like
What's
tweets? It's not tweets. It's Zeets. Did I see that?
Zeet.
actually
From the window to the wall?
I mean, listen, tweets is like was always questionable. Like tweets is like what
come
the
first
fuck?
Saturday
Twitter,
in college
tweets?
football, I'm gonna be zeeting all over the place.
I don't even know what that means.
Timmy, tell us your idea to end our shows.
Do we have time? For this?
Yeah, we do.
Like,
fuck yeah.
Yeah, so I think we still need like a segment at the end of the show where it's like the
Top
parent
5 Filipino
corner,
actors.
like the gym corner, or something like that. So I don't know. I was talking to Tones. I was like, maybe we should have something like that where it's like I was working title, podium game or something, or podium take.
Okay.
Someone who came up with like the best take of the podcast. And so pretty much I'd be like, oh, so for today I'd be like, oh, Tones, like, great idea on fucking Red Zone training camp. So here's
really
like,
good.
I'll throw it to you, and you can pretty much talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
That's
So
nice.
like, did you have a topic for today, Tones? Like,
So
anything you want to talk about or bring
I
up?
could have a topic. I could cook up something. Did I win?
Yeah,
You won. You won the
first
inaugural
one.
podium game.
Let's go. Okay.
I thought that not watching Magic Time because I
winning time.
winning time, and then having
Magic time.
and then making up a reason why I didn't watch the end of the thing.
was
I
close.
thought that I was going to be a shoe in, but
Yo, have another edible, bro.
that's it. That's it.
Okay, I got mine.
I was so stoned at Oppenheimer, guys. I was sitting there.
Really?
Can I really quickly? I want to tell a story. Real quick.
Please.
Real quick.
Please. I
Okay.
need to hear this.
Okay, so I
What
went
is
and I went to the local dispensary and I got a pre-roll and I fired that up before going into Oppenheimer. Now I was early. Okay, not too early, but I was early. I got my popcorn and my drink and I go to sit in my seat. I'm there solo. Okay, so it's just me. So I go up to my row. There's no one in my row quite yet. And now, like you got to pick your seats. It's not like back in the good old days where first come, first serve. So I was F18. Cool. Find F18 and I sit down. Okay. Starts filling up. Couple sits next to me. Hey, I always say hi. How you doing? Hey, how are you doing? It starts filling up. Now we're about 5 minutes before the previews are going to start. And this group of 4 dudes rolls in and there's only 3 seats. And they're like, you guys in the right seat? And I was like, yeah. And then this goes on. The previews are starting. And the guy comes back down and he goes, everybody, you got to move 1 seat over because everybody's in just 1 seat to the wrong side. So, okay, there's 4 of them. That's why they only have 3 seats. Everybody's just got to move over 1. And so everybody's like, oh, you sure we're doing that whole thing? Oh, yeah. Oh, you're right. Oh, this is F18 next to you. So I had come in and sat first one in the row, sat in F17 and caused a chain reaction of everybody sitting in the wrong seats. Then I had to they were like, who came in and did this first? And I was like, I felt like the meme of the I think you should leave of the hot dog guy. Like, we got to figure out who did this, who crashed this Wienermobile into this car. So I was so high. And I was like, I sat in the wrong seat to begin with to ruin everybody's time.
I think that's so funny that in a movie that's basically about chain reactions, you were the bomb that got dropped.
I was the bomb that got dropped.
The moral of the story, kids, just say no.
Just go with the infused pre-rolls. All right, so I'm sorry to take your podium away. Tones, you go.
I just can't believe you did that on the inaugural one. That's just
Hilarious.
Okay, this is an oldie but goodie. So I had to move to my in-laws as we're in the process of moving. Had to move to my in-laws up in Nobleton, so pretty close to Vaughan. Okay, so we're gonna get Toronto deep with this. So anyone not living in Toronto might not understand this.
DPP.
But for fucking 10 years of living in this city, I have heard nothing about Woodbridge. Oh, Woodbridge Bros, Woodbridge this, and I go the whole time. I'm like, it can't be that bad. It can't be that stereotypical. It can't be that crazy. I go to Good Life in Vaughan, which is in a strip mall, like everything out of everything you can imagine. I can't believe the amount of wife beaters, gold chains, shaved side head, curly top. Everybody looked the fucking same. And I am a full-blooded Italian, and I felt like the most non-Italian in my life in that gym. And I just couldn't believe that this is actually how it is. People are working out with like Sopranos style chains on, like bench pressing. And I'm like,
little cups
what?
of espresso.
I was just like, I can't believe it's really like this. I get home, I sit down with my in-laws. I'm like, guys, I can't believe. They're like, yep, Like wait to go to this bakery next, go to that place next, go to this place next. And I'm like, this is crazy. I feel like I just transported to Jersey. Like, this is wild. And I'm watching The Sopranos at the same time. So I'm like, this is holy fuck. Maybe these guys eat baked ziti. I've never touched it in my life. Don't even know what it is. Like, this is crazy. Anyway, that's just my Toronto story. Stereotypical. What the fuck's going on? It was the longest workouts of my life because I'm just people watching the whole time, which you shouldn't do in a gym. But I was just like transfixed on all these kids. Yeah, it's like, oh my God. I was trying to like sneak pics to like send to people and stuff. Like, look at this fucking guy. Anyway, that's my thing.
It is the beauty of the GTA, how you can end up in different parts of the world very easily, very quickly. One of my best friends growing up is Italian, and he moved to Vaughan. And so it's always a very interesting trip up there when I go see him and his fam for the weekend or whatever. And we just go. We're at exactly what you just said. We'll go to this bakery and then you go in like, where am I right now? Like, what is happening right now? Too funny. I like it. I'm a fan. Timmy Heggs, good job, man.
Yeah, great stuff. I like that segment idea.
All right.
Yeah,
we'll see how long it goes.
I think Timmy picks the winner at the end of each pod.
Filipinos.
Hey, first win for the Philippines in the World Cup. First goal, first win. Let's go.
Bang. Did Efren Reyes score it?
Little corner pocket.
Webby, I'll send you some Efren Reyes content. Send you some highlights.
Oh, okay. So again, go to Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer. Think outside the box, and you will. A cameo happens, and if you get it, Tones, I'll be so happy.
Okay.
Make sure you sit in the right seat.
Yeah, 100%.